Hello Capricorn, and welcome to your April reading. Great to see you again. I get a bunch of requests to show my dog a little bit more, so I'm going to put him here at the beginning as I say hello. Just a reminder that you can use these readings for your sun sign, your rising, as well as your moon. And if there's someone in your life that you care about and you want to check in on, you can use it for them as well. And just a reminder that if you like what you see here, please stick around until the end. I'll talk a little bit more about how you can join me across the different social media platforms. If you want to donate, how you can do that, or book an appointment. All right, before we get started, let me just run through the organization of the video, and I'm going to put all that information that I talked about a second ago here because I didn't want to cover up Apollo's face. This is separated into three parts. It starts off with channeled information, which we're going to get to in a moment. Then it goes to a Celtic cross, and after that we look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. In the last 2 minutes of the video, I also give some sign-specific closing thoughts, so make sure you see that as well. Let's now talk about the channeled information and what came through for your sign this month. After selecting a deck of cards for your sign and beginning to meditate, I had a few things that started to come through. The first was this image of light coming through you. And I wrote down the word spectrum first, and then I realized you had a lot of choices to kind of sift through this month, but the last thing that I wrote in the smallest print I think is the most important, and I'll bring it close, which is you are the prism. You are the prism through which the light flows. You are the one that decides where to focus the beams of energy, these opportunities in front of you this month. All right, with that being said, that's a very exciting image, and I can't wait to see now what the cards are going to yield as far as additional insights and information. All right, at this point, I'm going to give the cards a nice shuffle and remain quiet. I like to observe the placement, look at the information that comes through, and I'll rejoin you as soon as I've pulled the full Celtic cross and the catalyst card. In the catalyst card, you have the fire ant illustration here. I'm going to turn it upright so you can see it a little bit better. And there are a few really key things that go into decoding the message here. The first is obviously it's not just about your energy or your purpose this month. A lot of other people are coming in and out of your life. And what I'm seeing when I look at that card is that you have to think of 2 or 3 key things. The first is the bigger good, the how everything is going to benefit the team, the family, or again, maybe if you're in a position where you have influence over a lot of other people, it could be the public at large. So well-being, safety, and general happiness of everyone around you. There's a common thread somewhere in there that can be a organizing, galvanizing force that will help everybody understand and get behind you. So think outside of your head, your purpose, your life first, and really be empathetic, really put yourself in their shoes and what's going on in their lives. And that is going to be key to your happiness, your success, and your ability to coordinate. And coordination was that second piece, because I feel like this month there will be a lot of different things going on at once. It's kind of like if you ever look at an old-fashioned analog watch, and you pop the top off and you see all these tiny gears, more than you even imagined exist, turning around and making this, just 2 or 3 things on the front working. This month is an opportunity for you to kind of look behind that face of the clock and see all of the gears and how you fit into that, and understanding that even the smallest one is necessary for accuracy, for the continual working of what you're seeing here on the surface. So another piece of this is gratitude, appreciation, and kind of seeing the unseen hands that are making everything possible in your day-to-day life. So if you do that, if you can communicate in terms that everyone understands, if you can find a common goal that everyone can get behind, and if you can acknowledge that every single person, irrespective of role, of their title, of their pay, of their position, is absolutely essential to the success of you and whatever it is you're trying to bring into fruition this month. Okay, let's look at each card now and we'll get some additional insights. We're going to start right at the center. We have the King of Swords, and this is really speaking to your ability to communicate, which I was just highlighting. I love that it's at the center. It's upright, so it's not showing that many hiccups that could be happening for you. So just really believe what you're saying, think before speaking, and I think the most important thing is to understand what you're trying to do before you engage, because we have the Two of Swords right over top of that. So if we were to take the positive elements of the King of Swords, directness, positive communication or ability to communicate effectively, I should say, and also just the ability to take action, and we temper it by not knowing where you're going, this is the only place where things could get chaotic or scattered. I like a spectrum of light, of options, of choices, but if you can focus kind of the lenses or the prism accordingly, you can really make sure that you're putting the maximum amount of energy into a point where it's going to be the most effective. So don't scatter your thoughts, don't scatter your communication. The more direct you are and the more you understand where you're trying to go, the more other people will too. Less is more. That's another thing that comes through with that. As I look at Deep Past, this is a month where you really want to look at your finances, what you're doing for a living, and how satisfied you are in all of the above. And think to yourself, is this still working for me? Your Deep Past card is the Knight of Coins, but it's reversed, which shows that there was a lot of resources going out. This could have been your time and energy. It could also be money. It could be ideas, but it feels like there was a little bit of a drain that is coming through in the past quarter of the year. When I look across the center, and I need to pull the camera down so you can see the cards, we have the World card here in the recent past, and then we have the Nine of Swords here in the near future. And so what I'm seeing for many of you is this chance and this opportunity to really think, is the pressure, is the energy, is this sort of direction that I'm headed in where I want to go? For some of you, the answer is no, because we have the Fool here in your ego. All right, let's go ahead now and take a look at each of the cards as individual aspects of your life, not just as that continual thread about work. I'm just going to say, though, with the work thing, whatever you decide to do, it's okay, but there's a need for you to come to some sort of a decision this month. Now, if we just look at the Knight of Coins from a perspective of your life, there's a need for you to ground a little bit, and my suggestion is to take time to get out in nature, to meditate, to read, to do something that brings you a sense of joy and connection to something beyond work. And even though that's a resource card and it's practical, you need to find something else in your life. It's a little out of balance. So work-life balance could also be something that you want to spend a little bit more time and energy on creating an equilibrium this month. With the World card in reverse, that's also going back to what would be beneficial if you add more grounding in your life. But as I said earlier, if we take work out of the equation, the World card is ends and beginnings. It can be a move, it can be a change emotionally, spiritually, physically, and it's a good change typically. The fact that it's reversed shows that for some of you there was either a little bit of resistance, or that perhaps the speed with which it happened was either quicker or slower than you anticipated. It already feels like it's in sort of motion, and depending on what part of your life is changing, if we go back to that idea of the watch gears that I talked about, sometimes it feels like it's really small, like, okay, I made this small change, but how is this going to help everything else? Just trust in the interconnectedness of everything and know that as you make one change at a time, everything starts to function and move differently. Just like a solar system, if you add an object or subtract an object, all of the other orbits start to shift and change accordingly as well. So any small change you make towards your goal, towards something that you don't want or do want in your life, just know that it does affect everything, even if it's in a sort of imperceptible way. It's happening. Okay, your crowning card, King of Wands. The one really good thing you have working in your favor this month, you have quite a few actually, but this is the key one, is your ability to organize. And that's what we saw with this. There's a message here with a card that's upright all about organizing thoughts, energy, insights, also demonstrating things, leading by example, and then a card where the whole idea of synthesis, organization, marching orders, quite literally, it's in reverse. So this is where you need to sort of put that attention. It's externally, not as much internally. Look at the people in your family, look at the house that's around you, look at your community, look at larger world issues and think, how is all of this affecting me? Is there something here that I don't or do like, and how can I put energy into these things so that I'm actually also feeling better because I am a sort of a citizen of the universe here. I'm not just focusing on my own self. A closer inspection of this card shows the number 7 right at the center, formed by the belt and the wand that the king is holding. For many of you, the number 7 may hold significance. It's a spiritual number, of course, but there could also be something happening on the 7th, the 14th, the 21st of this month. And this could be all about community management, sort of, again, organizing larger efforts around you. And so pay special attention on the 7s this month, and pay attention to the number 7 as a symbol and a guide for you as you're trying to navigate. One of the areas of opportunity this month for you to improve upon is sleep, stress management, and also not giving in to fear. We have the 9 of Swords card in reverse, but again, when you pull it in the upright position, we understand that a lot of this can come through when we're in moments of rest or that quiet time while we're thinking through things. And the aggregate energy of all of the lower frequencies, which I mentioned, again, it could be fear, anxiety, frustration, anger, feeling defeated, feeling the sense of despair. This stuff starts to kind of pile on, weigh on you, and it can inhibit your ability to simply move. And so you're going to need this month a way to channel, to sort of discharge this sort of energy. And one of the ways that's coming through naturally here in the ego is movement. And with the Fool card, this is walking, running, jogging, exercise that accelerates the heartbeat, that makes you sweat, that makes you breathe a little bit more. First of all, you're going to get the endorphins rush, which is good, but you're also going to sweat out and breathe out the energy. Risk-taking in general is encouraged this month. The Fool is in the upright position. Right above it is the King of Coins. And so for some of you, a move can be advantageous with saving money, earning money, having a better job. There might be, again, a need to relocate. I think this is more than travel, which would be the 6 of Swords. With the World and the Fool, look at your environment, look at your house, look at your job, and think, is this the best for me? Am I getting what I need out of it? And am I receiving the abundance that I really am ready for? And don't limit yourself. That would be another piece of this. In your opportunity space, and this is where your hopes, fears can be, but it's also where untapped potential can be, we have the 5 of Wands. This is encouraging you to have fun, even in the mundane tasks that would be in front of you this month. This could be little things like cleaning the house, doing your taxes, sending out all of the emails necessary to get whatever it is you might be trying to organize to come together. It's all the small stuff that isn't glitzy or glamorous or shiny, but it's totally part of the success of whatever it is you're trying to create in your life. All the behind the scenes work. There's a lot of that needs to be done this month. When you do that, you get to have more fun later. So as you're going through that, I want you, first of all, to take some breaks as needed, and then try to imagine what the end result will be, and that you'll look back and think, I'm so glad I did that. And structure your day so maybe you get some of this busy work done earlier and you can reward yourself throughout the day. So getting yourself grounded in your purpose, realizing that it's all helping you towards something much bigger and more enjoyable, it's going to be important. Your outcome card this month is reminding you to have a little fun. The overall energy of the Sun card is a child usually. It also implies that when your energy is at its highest, when you're laughing, when you're motivated, when you feel like everything is coming together, those around you are attracted, inspired, and moved by that energy. Do what is necessary. I would say do whatever is necessary this month to get into that heightened place of the Sun. Believe in yourself. Believe that things are possible. Believe in others. And get out of your mind, your body, and your energy a little bit. The Sun card in reverse usually has to do with masculine energy that is, instead of kind of creating things, it's bringing in a sort of self-serving way whatever it wants and needs. So this is saying be empathetic, be selfless, and just like that spectrum that I saw, when you turn your love, your energy, and your optimism outward, it showers everyone with that, and they're brought in. You actually get what you give. So give more, believe more, spread more energy, more love, all of that, and it will start to come back in ways that you never imagined. So generosity and optimism and service are going to be the ways also that you can break through the lower frequencies that might be weighing down on you a little bit. Let's move along now to your health card. This is a combination of mind, body, and spirit messages. Let's see what's coming through for your sign this month. Okay, there are two. So I'm going to observe this one that kind of volunteered and one that I was drawn to pull. This month, you're being pushed to either go beyond a perceived limitation or to simply look at a new way around it. We have this card, which I believe flew out. This was the Believe and Succeed. For any sort of success or positive trajectory to happen in your health, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe it's possible. Even if you think that the odds are stacked against you or that it's insurmountable, there's no way that I can get through this. The healing card is showing that it's already starting to happen, but you have to embrace it. And this healing card in particular is showing that healing can be anything from letting go of an addiction to being negative about your body image to overcoming an injury. And sometimes, even if the injury, you've reached the maximum that medically they think you can do, sometimes there's a little bit more room, or it's about working around it. Okay, so I can't use this leg the way I used to. What else can I do to strengthen the rest of my body to compensate? And so it's finding ways around, and it's also finding whatever additional blessings or lessons came through those injuries. I've been through injuries in my life, and they're never fun, and you never are happy going through it. But afterwards, I'm more careful. I'm more grateful for anything that remains as far as being able to sort of use your body. And I'm also grateful that the body repaired as much as it did. So we're in these extraordinary machines. I'm taking that from Fiona Apple. It was a great name of an album. But they have this ability to repair, to move, to push beyond even our expectations. And we're only beginning. It's like the tip of the iceberg to understand what's going on, particularly when it comes to your own body's ability to heal. So work on multiple levels this month. That's why I think I saw spectrum. It's not just about the physical limits. It's about up here. What can I do with this information? What else can I do in my life? Is this really the end, or is this a chance for me to focus my energy on something else? There's a change that needs to happen in the way that you are approaching health this month. Once you make that change and believe in yourself and believe that it's going to be okay, even if it's not exactly the same as it was before, suddenly you start to feel better, new things start to open up. You might find some solution that didn't exist before. You have to believe, you have to keep working, you have to keep moving. And that's also what this card is showing. You can't stay still, you have to move forward, and with the new sort of information, with the new version of you, whatever it is. Okay, that's your health message. Let's look at wealth and see how you are approaching opportunities in your life, what's coming through with money and career. So in wealth, we actually have a card that I would not expect to show up there. It's sexuality. And for some of you, this could indicate potential discrimination that's coming through, either because of what gender you are or who you're dating or how you express yourself. And if that is the case, then you might find yourself facing this opportunity to either fight for yourself or fight for the greater good, or perhaps move on if you're not feeling like this is where you want to put your energy right now. So this is, and it's interesting, we have King of Swords at the center. So some of you might be fighting for what's right, whether it's sort of a symbolic journey towards the truth and towards respect, or literally kind of taking someone to court. And so that's coming through. As a sort of broader expression of wealth, I take sexuality as a connection to passion and creativity, and also looking at like the second chakra. And has there ever been a point in your life, past or present, where someone will not get behind the way that you are trying to move forward with something, express your creativity, because that's really what sexuality can be used for. It can either be used in relationships or it can be used as passion for projects. So for some of you, there's this chance to look at places that really understand how to best utilize your creative energy. So whether it's about proper boundaries at work from you or for others, or whether it's about being able to express yourself, there's an interesting message in the wealth sector for you, which is find a place where it feels safe, where you're able to be yourself, and where others celebrate your diversity or others' diversity as well. Let's move along now and see what messages are coming through for love and relationships. Make time this month to have some fun. The Joy card is showing that whether you're single or in a relationship, the way to really maximize the energy is to try to get out of the normal routine. Have fun. You could meet someone while you're out at a party or a work event, and if you have a partner in your life, then engaging with them in some sort of non-routine way is going to be key. Whether that is playful and you set up time so that you can just be together, or if you're going out to a movie or something that you haven't done in a long time that you both enjoy, this is really key. I want to highlight that I did see a couple of cards in the same suit this month, both the King of Coins and the Knight of Coins. And for me, this can show that this is really, really important to balancing the energy. That shows a relationship issue. And this would be the issue is one partner feeling that they're getting the attention that they need? It's interesting that for me, worth, when I'm looking at money, can also be what you feel like you're worth. And the fact that we got sexuality in the money sector or in the self-worth area means that for some of you, there's a need to either be more intimate with your partner or to be more appreciative one way or the other of that time together. So set up time to just be with your partner if you're partnered. And if you're single and happy, do things that bring you joy and make you happy, knowing that that creative energy will make you, first of all, more attractive, will also make you more productive. So you can do whatever you would like with that. But there is a need to sort of look at the first and second chakras this month, particularly the second chakra, and try and work through any pain, any frustration, and really to have some fun and hopefully release some of the tension and energy that might be kind of locked up in that chakra. Let's move along now to your Destiny card. For me, this is sort of a free will card that shows either how to maximize where you're headed, or if you're ready or willing to make a course correction, how to best do that. Your destiny message this month is diving for light. The card is reversed, but let's pull it upright so you can see it. This is very much a card that would normally belong in like the cups suit. And as I scan all the cards in front of me, that's what you're lacking this month. It's also what came through for love. And when I think about this, what's really needed is expression, enjoyment, and the sense of being safe. Some of you may have been put in situations when I'm looking at wealth, either self-worth or working environments, where you were made to doubt your safety, your ability to express yourself, to be yourself, etc. This month, what I would like you to do is to create places where you feel safe to share and explore whatever that energy is for you, whether it's just holding back and not being able to express yourself, or it's needing to express some pain and to allow for some healing to take place. Once you do that, the light comes out. We get back to that channeled information, which was showing this spectrum of energy that just wants to express itself. And also the Sun card here, which is showing that it will be okay, but it's necessary to go in and allow for that healing to take place first. I'm going to turn the camera down now. We'll review everything, and then we'll wrap up right after that. Your channeled message this month is that you are the prism, and through you, a spectrum of opportunities and choices can flow. There are some areas that we just talked about that may need some healing, or your ability to focus them a little bit more. But the key thing here is that there's a lot of light. There's a lot of great possibilities that want to come through. The more you can focus your energy and your intentions, the more you can kind of get out of your own ego, your own issues, the more that other people are going to be drawn in. But that means that the first thing that you have to do is to create a safe space for yourself. We were just talking about that. Allow for the healing to take place so that you can be at your highest light. And even if you're met with adversity, if somebody in your life has done something to make you not feel safe, you have to find a way to fight for that and to advocate for that in a way that feels appropriate as well. Looking at just general messages again, this was about being able to attract great opportunities, and it comes through believing in yourself and trusting that it will be okay. King of Swords at the center. Communication is key. Some of you might also be fighting a battle in court or putting your name into some sort of consideration. There's some legal documents or some contracts that might need to be signed. And that explains why we see the World and the Fool here. Endings and beginnings. And so some of you are starting a new job, moving to a new place, or finishing up something that you've been working on for a while. The big thing that we see here that is going to either accelerate or slow down things is your ability to make a decision and do so quickly. And I think at the beginning of the month, it's important for you to be very clear on what you're trying to accomplish. For some of you, there's also this need to balance out how much energy you've been putting either into relationships or into work. There's something that's off a little bit, so work-life balance has to be at a better place. Movement is happening though, and healing is happening in both of these areas. Your ability to control, think, and organize is your biggest asset this month. So that's why the more that you understand how to make that happen, the more that everything can start to fall into place. Pay attention to the sevens, 7th, 14th, 21st. Also sevens in your life, they might bring you some guidance when you're making those decisions. When it comes to stress management and sleep, it's really important this month to find a way to ground yourself, to let go of things, and to find activities that allow you to decompress. We talked about any sort of aerobic activities. Anything where your heartbeat is accelerating a little bit, you're working up a sweat, that's going to be really important. I see growth and improvement when it comes to resources, even if you felt that limiting factor in the past, so that's very good to see. Opportunity-wise, you have to try to find fun in the mundane, knowing that it's all going to be worth it. In the outcome, we have a card that reminds you that you have the creative energy necessary to make things happen. Even if others in your life have made you question that ability, it still exists, and all you really need to do is embrace it and believe in yourself. In health, we have the same message of believing. We have believe and succeed. For any progress to happen, you have to believe that recovery is possible, that you're going to be able to successfully navigate whatever challenges happen. And with this card, there's really a combination of both to sort of surrender to and to embrace whatever the new version of yourself is. Upon doing that, you're truly able to heal and you can move forward. In wealth, we have a message that was very interesting, actually, that showed up here with sexuality. This could be either a limited ability to express yourself, or there could be biases in your workplace or in your society or in your family that is holding you back from truly accomplishing what you need to. So whatever this is, whether it's bias or whether it's a sort of self-limiting factor that you've put on yourself, this is a breakthrough month where you embrace this, you heal yourself, because the primary color here is actually green for the heart. There's a little bit of that first chakra, but most of it is a heart opening. And once you've done that, you truly allow yourself to express and exist in a place of joy, which is what came through for relationships. So once you're able to truly be yourself, then you're allowed to flourish in your relationships, both with friends, with family, and with loved ones. So expression is key, and the ability to identify and express as you need to, it's key. And the outcome, I think, is the most important. The way to find the light is to create that space where you can have joy in your life. I mentioned earlier that this is your symbolic cups card, whether you want to see it as the Queen of Cups or the Ace of Cups, that's what I'm getting with it. And through that ability to feel joy, feel safe, express also the emotions that may not be in that heightened state, you have to work through them before you can get back into the light. Ultimately, the light is here and it wants to come through and it wants to shine like a spectrum, and that's what I hope I can help you do this month. So that brings your monthly reading to a close. I hope it gave you exactly what you needed to navigate all of the ups, the downs, and the in-betweens this month. But if you ever feel like you want to talk a little bit more about something going on in your life, I'm here for you. You can check out the first card and the first link below the video, and that's a link to my booking site where you can look at rates and availability. If that works out, I'm happy to meet with you. But otherwise, if you just want to say thank you for the free resources that I provide each month, you can give back. You can do that through clicking on the second card or the second link. And that's a way that you can join me on Patreon or through my website. And you can do a one-time donation or, again, a continuing one. And know that this really helps. It helps me select new cards that I can use for all the monthly videos. And it also just helps me carve out the time that's necessary to do videos just like this. For anyone that's done this in the past, I want to say thank you so much. This video and everything that you saw this month, it's a direct result of that. If you would like to give back in a way that doesn't require any sort of monetary expense and you just want to symbolically say thank you, please join me on this channel by subscribing and liking, and then also join me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and I have a newsletter. The third card and the third link will take you to a page that will allow you to connect on all of those. And if you want to go a step further, you can also share this on those networks. If you watch me each month, you know that's really why I'm here. I want to help as many people as possible, and by you sharing this with others, you really make that possible, so thank you. I'd like to end with a note of opportunity for you, really, as I'm looking at the big message for your sign. Light is here. Light wants to come through. Right now, it feels like some of that's being held in, and you can notice here that as soon as you can shine, you'll be able to share that energy, share that light with everyone. Make time this month to create safety in your life so that you can be creative, you can be secure, you can be in a state of joy. That's the one thing that I really hope your sign can make peace with. And have fun. That's really what this card is saying. If there's something or someone or a series of things that have kind of not allowed you to be yourself and express what it is you want to do in your life, who you want to be, and how you want to do it, then find a way this month to start to get closer to a safe space where that can happen. Because that's when the healing truly sets in for you. And that's when you start to feel free and you can start to turn a new page in your life. This is a great month for you. There are some things you have to work through, but you are more than ready to do it. And I can't wait to see how it turns out for all of you. Until I see you next month, take care of yourselves, and thank you for letting me be a part of your journey. Much love and light now and always.